Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great example to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. All right, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners. They have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know, what I want to get into is Proverbs 18:1. You know, because as we, have entered, into this ministry, all right, this ministry comes with a standard, and this standard, provokes, understanding, gaining more understanding. We not here, just to know that we're Israelites and put fringes on everything and, go through the motions outwardly. There's supposed to be a true change, inwardly, and it's supposed to start showing outwardly. Like I said, our desires are supposed to be completely different, from when we was in, had the mindset of this society, because one thing about it, our kingdom, will be ran on a very, very, very high level of wisdom, and wisdom, all right, is a treasure, man. True wisdom is a true treasure, and it's going to become more valuable as this synthetic, all right, pseudo, science kingdom breaks down, So when you go to Proverbs 18:1, it said, through desire, a man having separated himself seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom, So first, it starts with a desire, because when you really into something, when you really desire something, you separate yourself from everyone to get into it, like Jakes that's, that's in love with money, chasing the bag. You see, them Jakes really, the ones out there really getting it, they have separated themselves, to do that, athletes. You see, because when you go to the pros, and when you get to that pro level, the high or top tier level of college, with the athletes, they go into a whole nother understanding, of their sport. It goes beyond running and jumping. There's different, sciences and techniques and, wisdom and, that they get into, that they tap into. You see, but they have to dedicate their lives to that, man, to really level up. And that's how we are in the ministry, man. Because we learn, the breakdowns and, go into different words and, get an understanding of scripture. But then there's another level of wisdom, on just how to use the earth, man, because the earth has so much to offer. The planet Earth has so much to offer, man, and, the wisdom of the earth, is a beautiful thing. Brothers got the different chats, the GMS herbs and, different things where it's nothing but wisdom and information, about how to utilize the earth, and our benefit, for our benefit, man. Brothers that, go into the herbs, like there's time, that those brothers have to put in to study, and have trials and, gain experience in those things, man. There's certain, even with the stones, man, brothers, tapped into the stones and, we went to, wearing the stones for, an apparel thing, just for show. But then when brothers really started, tapping into, the purpose of stones, man, you got brothers, that heal headaches, through stones, they learn how to sober themselves up, using stones, certain stones that help with sleep aid, certain stones that give you clear dreams, all these different things, man. Brother, like I say, that rose quartz, help with the headache, that amethyst, it can help sober you up. You see, that white howlite, it provokes, learning new things. You see, so it's a good stone to study with, man. It's much more. And there's certain smells you know, that you can burn, you know, when you get some good quality incense. There's certain smells you can burn, you know, that rejuvenate you while you sleep, man. You know, going to that lavender, you know, a good quality of frankincense, you know. And you know, it's just much more. The earth has so much to offer, man. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to is just gaining the wisdom on how everything functions, man. You know, because that's the wisdom we're going to use, all right, to rule, all right, and, you know, advance, you know, our empires, man. Each brother's going to have, you know, their own province and realm that they're over, you know, where they get to utilize their wisdom, all right, to benefit the earth. All right, so reading it again, it said, through desire, a man having separated himself, you know, and that's one of the things, all right, that this truth, you know, provokes is separate from this society, man. You know, separate from everything sometime, man. You know, just get away, you know, just really tap in, you know, and that's, you know, and that shows, all right, your seriousness, man. You know, that shows our seriousness, man, when we really separate, man. Like I say, Howard Shaw was always separated, man. You know, when we go back to King Solomon, all right, and how he was getting, you know, he was learning these things, but he was always separated and observing, man. King Solomon, the knowledge, the wisdom he was given, you know, he utilized it, man. You know, he put it to the test. You see? And that's the things, you know, that we're into, putting these things to the test, man. Hey, when I get certain ailments, I look at it as a test, you know, to heal myself, man. You know, when I got certain problems, you know, dealing with sleep and, you know, energy, I look at it as a test, you know, to see what I can do, you know, from the earth, you see, to try to improve different things, man. You know, and that's you know, that's how you learn, you know, trial and error, you know, trial and experience. That's how you know, pretty much learn. You know, that's why in the ancient world the council of the elders was so valuable, because they had so much experience in trial and error, man. You know, they had gained so much knowledge through trial and error, just like our apostles, you know, today. You see, even going into the history, like let's get that. When you go to Sirach 39:1, it said, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, you know, because even the law itself is a high level of wisdom. You know, the law itself is a very high level of wisdom, man, on how to function, you know, in the earth. All right, and it says, and is occupied in the meditation thereof. All right, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied, all right, in prophecy. You know, because even studying the ancient ways of our forefathers, you know, we study, you know, me personally, you know, and this, you know, brothers, some brothers are into this more than others, you know, this just putting a perspective out there, you know. But even when you study ancient empire, like, you know the how this kingdom came to be, because even when you go to that account, you know, dealing with in the book of Judith, you know, and you had that general, all right, that Syrian general, you know, asking, you know, about Israel, you know, why, you know, we were different from everyone else. And you had the Ammonite, you know, and what did he do? He gave him the rundown of our history, going back to Abraham, and he gave them the rundown of our history. You see? Showing that what he was, you know, he was well learned, you know, particular things, and that's really a kingly trait, you know, to be learned, you know, in the different categories, man, to have an understanding just how things work, how things came into being. You know, that's a kingly trait, you know. When you study different empires and you kind of, you know, look at them today and see how they came to be, you know, they're just something, you know, I'm into. You know, Lord will, I plan on doing, you know, some videos on some different things I've been watching. You know, I just been watching a lot of things and kind of just, you know, soaking in. You know, Lord will, I can start putting some things on wax, you know, dealing with these different empires. But, man, it just gives you, you know, it just makes you well-rounded. And that's the, you know, the way of a king, man. You know, we all talk about kings in this society. When they think of king, they just think of the privilege, you know, but it's so much more than that. You know, a king will usually be the most well-rounded, you know, person within his realm, the most disciplined, all right, you know. So that's the mind frame, you know, that's a mind frame to be in, you know, because we separate from this society, but we tap into our world. We tap into the earth. We tap into, you know, things, all right, of understanding, you know, worldly affairs, man. You know, dealing with this World War III, you know, keeping up with what's going on. Why? Because that's our salvation we looking at, man. You know, that's going to set the stage for Yahushua. So, of course, you know, we're going to be all into that, man. You know, so just want to put that out there, Lord, will you edify till next time I say shalom.